Maggie Lacey from Windmill Market is here, and I'm so excited. I was talking to Allison, our producer, again, about the segment this morning, the cooking segment. You guys promote local, which is something that I've really gotten involved in, and I've really tried to start doing as well. Let's first talk about the Windmill Market and what goes on there.
Well, we like to say that it's a whirlwind of the Gulf Coast because we've got everything from local food, local produce, meats, local restaurants, live music, arts and crafts. So there's something for everybody, and the whole focus is on locally sourced, seasonal, sustainable, and things with a green focus.
Well, wonderful. And I can tell you over here, I smell these peaches right now. They smell wonderful. So what are we making this morning? Tell us about the ingredients we have here.
We're making a peach lavender jam, kind of in honor of our produce club.
That sounds so good.
Peaches are just coming in season, so that's why we decided to use that for our recipe today. These are some of the first of the year coming out of Loxley, and we've had a couple from Balabatry, but they're only going to get better in the next couple of weeks as the weather warms and summer gets here. But we're making it a little bit modern with some lavender.
Ooh,
just gives it a little bit
I'm
subtle
surprised
different.
I don't smell this.
Yeah,
I smell the peaches.
The peaches are just...
I smell the peaches.
Because there's peach juice all over the counter.
Right, okay.
You're peeling them and chopping them. But to get the lavender, we boil some water.
I'll get out of your way.
I just do a tablespoon of this dried lavender, which you can pick up lots of different places, into a bowl. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of boiling water to it.
Okay.
And let it steep like you were making some hot tea.
Or oatmeal.
Exactly. And steep in that bowl for about 20 minutes. And then the water will get infused with all that good lavender flavor. So we won't actually put the dried flowers into the jam, just the water that has a little bit of the flavor.
Okay, and so we obviously have to stir this for a few minutes. They're taking the overhead camera right now. And again, this is the lavender with the boiled water that she's stirring right now to put in the jam.
Yeah, it's a little unusual, but we kind of think that's a modern take on, you know, your grandmother's farm stand jams and jellies. Putting things like lavender or rosemary would be another really delicious one, mixing that sweet and savory or something floral to make it kind of modern and different.
Now, as far as the rest of the recipe, I know we have peaches here, we have lavender. What are the other ingredients we're going to need to make this jam today?
Just a little bit of lemon juice and some sugar, and the sugar you can do to taste depending on how much you want or how sweet your peaches are. We're going to add all that and a little gelatin into the pot in a little bit, and that'll be all there is.
This is so simple. That's right, and I'm telling you, these peaches look great. If we can take maybe Joa's camera, the overhead camera, just to look at how good these peaches look. Joe, I think they are taking your camera right now. As far as the Windmill Market, you know, they were telling me that you guys not only sell the produce there, you also have, you can eat there. There's restaurants in there.
There are 3 restaurants, and then we also do a produce club. So we take all this local produce, and folks subscribe to it, and you can take it all home and cook for your family.
That's
and
awesome.
We pull it together with recipes, and folks pick up on both sides of the bay every Monday. So it's sort of like a CSA, but you don't have to go to the farm.
Right.
We do all the work for you, and a lot of the produce has just been picked 12 hours before, so it's as fresh as it gets.
That's awesome. And Maggie, this is getting a little personal here, but I have been looking, and I know several people have been looking for honey, locally grown honey, and I'm having trouble finding it. What has your experience been like so far this year?
Well, we've had a good supply coming in, but at this time of year, there's so many people looking for it.
Right.
It starts in the spring with allergies.
Right.
And, you know, people are fighting colds, but we've got 4 or 5 different honey producers that we pull from, so we always have something in stock, but it sells fast.
It does. I've been looking for it, and everywhere that I have been that has any honey, they have been sold out. So good to know that you guys have that. I will come there, absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about your produce club. If someone is interested in signing up for this, do they have to go to the Windmill Market, or can they do it online?
There's a registration form on our website, which is produceclub.org, O-R-G, and they can download it and fill it out and email it to us, mail it in, drop it by, or they can call the Windmill and give their information over the phone, and you sign up for 4-week subscriptions.
Okay.
So you just give us all your information, and we'll get you into the program, and we'll have a box for you every week.
That sounds, I'm actually going to look into this.
Fun.
I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, this is the Windmill Market. We are making some jam this morning with all local products. Again, that's all they sell there at the Windmill Market. So support your local farmers, a good program to get into, I guess you'd call it. We're going to join Maggie in just a little bit and continue on with the jam. And we're
We are back in the kitchen with Maggie from Windmill Market. You guys talked a lot about plenty of stuff in your first segment.
Yeah.
Locally grown honey, the local produce club, all that kind of good stuff. And we've got some good stuff in the kitchen this morning working on this peach lavender jam. What do we need to do to make this happen?
All right, well, we've been letting the lavender steep for the last little bit, so now we're going to assemble the jam. I'm adding some powdered gelatin to our sugar. Don't look how much sugar, because
I did look.
It may be a lot, but you can pick how much you want to use for yours. And then we need to strain the lavender water to get all the actual flowers out. So I've got this sieve, catching the dried flowers, but letting all that liquid go into the sugar.
I see.
Set that aside. We're going to give it a little squeeze of lemon juice. Just gives it a nice bright flavor, and the citrus has a little bit of natural pectin in it. And then our peaches, which you guys said you can smell all over the studio. They're finely chopped, peeled. Sometimes I like to make the peaches big and chunky in the jam. Sometimes you can do them really fine, just depending on what consistency you want at the end of the day. So that's it. Those are the only ingredients. We're going to put it over here and bring it to a boil, and it is a quick cooking jam. It only has to cook for 2 minutes at a rolling boil. So really easy. Not one of those that you've got to cook down for hours.
That is a quick process, so I'm going to let you continue to stir and work on that. Now, we mentioned the local produce club that y'all are doing as well, and you kind of wanted to mention what kind of things you can look for if you sign up this summer. So what are we going to get?
Well, the summer's, I think, the most exciting time to be a member of the club. We do it year-round, but in the summertime, you're going to get all those fruits and vegetables that you think of when you think of local produce. The sweet white corns will be coming in soon. Peaches, obviously. We've got blueberries, strawberries, figs will be this summer, and all those beautiful heirloom tomatoes. So if you're trying to eat better, you want to eat local, and you want to get back into more fruits and veggies, it's an easy time of year to do it because it's stuff everybody loves.
Yeah, and it is all, like Chastity said, I think it tastes better when it is local too, and it doesn't go through all the processes to get throughout all the stores all across the country. You can get it right here. That is fantastic. That smells so good.
Doesn't that smell good?
It smells fantastic. We're going to finish it all up when we come back in our final segment with Maggie from the Windmill Market. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Chat.
We are back in the kitchen with Maggie Lacey with the Windmill Market, finishing up our peach lavender jam. Maggie, I have been talking to everyone in Fox 10 about this because I'm very excited to try it. Again, the Windmill Market supporting everything local farmers, and that's what we like to see. So I'm excited to try this.
Well, the jam, we just let it cook for a couple of minutes. It didn't take long. The gelatin's going to help it set up. So once it's ready, let it cool a little bit, and then I use something to kind of ladle it into my jars.
Right.
You know, if you're a great canner, you can sterilize your jars and keep this in the pantry for months. I just do it the easy way and keep it in my fridge, and it'll keep for a couple of weeks without having to get into sterilizing jars and doing that whole kind of thing.
Right.
But this is something that I made yesterday, and so it's already set and cold and
ready to go and ready for me to eat.
That's right. And obviously you can have this on toast, you can have it any way you want, but if you want to do something a little bit fancier, entertain some guests, we made some crostini. I'm going to spread some of this Bell Chef Alabama goat cheese that we sell over at the market on it.
Okay. Top
it with a little bit of the jam. So you got a little sweet and savory.
I'm so excited.
And the crunch.
And while I'm eating, since my mouth will be full, let's talk about the produce club that you guys have. And you were talking about how exciting it is for the summer to get involved in this produce club because you can have the fruits, you can have the cheese and the bread.
Right. We've got the options that are just the fruits and vegetables, but you can do the grocery add-on. So we have the only organic milk made in Alabama, farm eggs, homemade cheeses, fresh baked loaves of bread from our bakery at Sweet Olive, meat, grass-fed meats and things like that, all added into the box so you really can feed your family from it for the whole week.
Maggie, I think they could hear me crunching on my microphone with that bread. I just ate. The jam is perfect.
Good, good.
It's a perfect mix with the jam and the cheese as well. You're mentioning the cheese that's also available at the market.
It is.
But first, let's also remind everyone that there are restaurants at the Windmill Market.
There are. We have 3 restaurants, Sweet Olive Bakery and Cafe. They do wonderful baked goods and great sandwiches and hot food. Mr. John's Barbecue, which is new, just opened this year. They kind of do a different take on Southern barbecue. And Marianne's Deli, which is a Fairhope institution. It's been open for 26 years. All 3 of those under one roof, and so you can order at any restaurant, sit anywhere you want, so you can make the whole family happy.
Perfect. And as always, if you're interested in the Windmill Windmill Market, interested in the Produce Club, we're going to put that all on our website, fox10tv.com, so you can check that out and be a part of it. Again, support local. It's a great organization, a great group that you're helping out there, because our local farmers, we know they work so hard.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
this is
you.
great. So I'm going to eat more of this, and we're going to go to commercial break.